So I'm Grant Barclay, B-A-R-C-L-A-Y. I'm the race engineer and strategist for Thaze Competition. I've been involved in motorsport since I was a kid, longer than I care to admit. I've worked in most forms of racing here in the States, including IndyCar and kart. I've been involved with sports car racing, mostly in the IMSA program since about 2008, on and off, and just involved with Thaze this year. I've been involved with the Mercedes since the inception of the program worldwide for the GT4, so that's about 5 or 6 years going now. You know, racing's a small world, so it's people who you know in the paddock, and towards the end part of last year I got a call from a very good friend of mine, Declan Brennan, who's doing some of the PR for the team. Declan and Brian have been friends for a long time, and they needed somebody that knew their way around the Mercedes, which I do. And Declan put us in contact, and I could see that they were needing some help, so went along, and this is where we've ended up now, 7 or 8 months later. As a race engineer, I'm responsible for basically being the liaison between the driver and the crew. The drivers will tell us what they want out of the car or what the car is doing, or in some cases not doing. And then I will make the decisions on the engineering side, what we're going to change. We have quite a large number of adjustments that we can make on the car, from spring changes to shock changes to some more subtle things, just maybe tire pressure and that sort of thing. I will make those decisions. I'll hand them along to the car chief or the crew chief, and he will then implement them on the car, and hopefully we move in the correct direction. So it's very much a team effort, as you guys have seen already. Being able to talk to the drivers, figure what we need, make the changes and that sort of thing, and then implement those changes. Once we go up to the pit lane and we're on track, I'm responsible for communicating with the drivers, making a run plan, and by that I mean which driver's going to drive at which time, how we're going to approach a practice session, what we're going to focus on, and try and improve the car and get the lap times down a little bit. When we come to the race, or prior to the race, I'm also the strategist for the team, so I'll run some simulations and lap time simulations, and we'll then come up with a plan based on what we think might happen, what the fuel consumption is likely to be, as to when we're going to pit, when we're going to change our drivers. So some of that you can plan in advance, but a lot of it is done on the fly. If there's a caution and we're coming down the back straight, the decision is, do we pit or don't we pit? And being able to make those snap decisions is kind of vital in a way. Could be the difference between being on the podium or not being in the top 10. But the team and the car has a lot of potential. The Mercedes has a pretty good balance of performance at the moment. We've got a very, very good pro in the car who gives us a good feedback, and being able to channel our energies into prepping the car, making sure the car is ready to give the drivers the best piece of equipment that we possibly can. So, you know, it's always hard to make predictions for the race. I don't really like doing it, but I'll be disappointed if we're certainly not in the top 10. If luck goes our way tomorrow, I would expect a top 5 or possibly a podium finish. You couldn't ask for a more professional series in the United States to run within sports car racing. IMSA is the top of the rung, and most of the teams that we see in this paddock, the GT4 teams, are aspirational as far as getting to the upper paddock and hopefully running in the Daytona 24 or Sebring 12 hour in years to come. But it's a professional series, so there's no reason that you actually have to move up. If you've got a good program in this series, you can run for years and be successful.